What's up, guys? Buckle up because you're about to enjoy an excellent Snaps game preview where we tell you everything you need to know about this weekend's game and probably some stuff that you didn't. Enjoy. The Big 12 Championship, Arizona State versus Iowa State. Rock fight here.
What do you think people are more intrigued by before we get into this? The Big 12 or the ACC Championship?
I think the ACC because of playoff implications. The Big 12 is nice and clean cut, right? It's Arizona State, Iowa State, winners in, losers out. They're both nice stories. Yep. Both don't have a ton of expectations once you actually get to a college football playoff. Whereas SMU, Clemson, like if Clemson does blow out SMU, there's a real question as to whether or not you put SMU in still.
Yeah.
Like I know some are trying to make that case, but from where I look, I am pretty unimpressed with who SMU's played thus far. Like any criticism that you wanted to levy at Indiana can be applied to SMU times a million.
Yeah.
But whatever, we'll get there. We get there. Arizona State versus Iowa State, two teams that nobody would have thought before the season would have emerged out of the insanity that was the Big 12 this year. Iowa State doing it defensively. Arizona State, a tough physical team as well, but maybe more doing it more on the offensive side of the ball. And, with that in mind, brutal blow for Arizona State as no Jordan Tyson for this game. So Cam Skattebo going to be relied upon even more.
And he can do it, man. I will say this, like what in Skattebo, because Skattebo is not just like a runner. He's the guy that can catch the ball in the backfield. He is Christian McCaffrey-esque in his game and in all the multiple ways that Arizona State uses him. So I love Skattebo, one of the top players this year in college football, but it goes back to what we just talked about with Penn State. Like if you are one-dimensional, you're in trouble. Like just look at the receiving yards for Arizona State. Jordan Tyson, 75 yards or 75 receptions for over 1,000 yards. Next top receiver is Skattebo, not a receiver. Oof. The next one is a running back. So you're going to go into the most important game of your season with a receiver who has 1,100 yards. The next closest receiver to him is 291. 800-yard difference between your top receiver and your next top receiver. I'm not talking about in total yardage because Skattebo is number 2. I'm talking about from a receiver position standpoint.
No, I mean
that is an issue.
That
is an issue going against what TBob just talked about, a defensive first football team in Iowa State. So that pretty much for me says it all. Like I love Arizona State. I think if Tyson is healthy, I would feel actually pretty good that Arizona State could win this football game. But going against that team and that defense with one playmaker, and that's all you got, you got one shot in the chamber, that is not going to be good enough for this game at all. So I struggle to find ways in which they can score enough points to win this.
I mean, on the other side of the ball, with Iowa State, you have two receivers that have over 1,000 yards. You actually probably have one of the few combinations in the
Rocco. I like Rocco at quarterback.
I wanted to ask you, Rocco Beck and Sam Levitt, both young guys. Rocco a sophomore. Rocco's dad, Anthony Beck, coach in the USFL for the Battlehawks right now. I think he's the head coach, but what else? He's been like all over. Whatever, doesn't matter. A football family. Rocco's from.
Well, he's had 2 years of experience too. I mean, he was pretty good last year. He's been pretty good this year.
Well, then Sam Levitt's a redshirt freshman right now. So a couple of young players already with their teams way ahead of schedule. Who do you like more at the quarterback position?
I like both of them. I wouldn't say like there's a massive advantage one way or the other. I think if anything, there's an advantage for Iowa State because they have their playmakers. I think that's a big deal. When you have confidence in knowing that, hey, I got 2 receivers on the outside that I can trust. And you can't lean one way or the other from a defense perspective. I think you go with that quarterback. And I think for right now, if I'm Sam Levitt heading into this game, I'm like, who the hell am I? Besides Skattebo against linebackers and safeties, who do I truly feel good can win one-on-one battles? And part of a quarterback is having confidence in your guys too. I mean, ask Carson Beck about that. And he seems to have made the decision this year that obviously Tyson is my guy. The numbers don't lie. Can you build that confidence and chemistry in a week without him?
No, I mean, I just think about how long it took Jackson Dart to start finding success once Trey Harris went down. And that was the most similar production distribution that I can remember this season compared to what you just told me about Jordan Tyson and the rest of the receivers on that team. Like in that same way, Trey Harris was dominating Ole Miss production. He goes out. Dart loses his way for a while. Now, he eventually got there, but a week is a really heavy ask, especially for a young quarterback. And at the end of the day, Dart still had, a bunch of other super talented
studs.
guys. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so Iowa State, so Beck still has Jaden Higgins, 80 catches, 1,060-yard, 9 touchdowns, and Jalen Noel, 6-7 catches, 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Is Matt Campbell going to get it done? Is Iowa State going to get their first conference championship since 1912 in 112 years?
I mean, listen, their 2 losses this year. Texas Tech, they lost by 1. Not a terrible loss, not a great loss. I mean, Texas Tech's 8-4.
Blew the Iowa game. They had no business blowing the. Are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Iowa State. They beat Iowa.
Oh, they beat. No, sorry, Iowa kind of blew it. Iowa had them on the ropes.
They still beat them. They still beat them though, and that was at Iowa too.
Yeah.
And then Kansas, as we know, Kansas has been one of the hottest teams in the Big 12 the last 4 weeks. They've been taking down everyone. So that's not a terrible loss at all. So, since then they've, obviously they beat Utah, which is not a big surprise. They beat Kansas State a week ago.
I think
Vegas has Arizona State as a favorite though.
I think beating a ranked Kansas State to get in here is but Arizona State had a bunch of big dubs down the stretch as well.
Yep.
Let me look at one final thing and then I'll make my choice.
I mean, they both beat Kansas State in the past month of playing, but
yeah, exactly. That's why I kind of stopped saying that as I was thinking about it out loud.
I kind of want Arizona State to win, just because of where their projections were to start the season.
Now, this is interesting though, Aaron. As good as Iowa State's defense has been, 3rd worst rush defense in the Big 12. Give up 173 on the ground a game.
Yeah, but when you know that the team is going to run the ball, it's going to be a little bit better.
I feel bad because I know we have Arizona State fans in the chat, and I don't remember ever seeing any Cyclone fans in here. And I want to side with my homies, but I think I'm kind of with Aaron after talking this out. I know this is reductive, but I think the loss of Jordan Tyson is too much to overcome. And I think the Iowa State Cyclones win their first conference championship in 112 years.
Let's go Cyclones.
You think so?
I think so. I do. Iowa State as the number 4 seed in the college football playoff.
Hell yeah. Wild. Let's go, Matt Campbell.
Actually, no, they may not be.
Oh, yeah, I guess not. Yeah, because
if Clemson went, I wonder too, they probably put Clemson ahead of them. Yeah, so I think Iowa State. I think these teams are playing for the 12th seed.
Wait, so where does you're saying the G5 go? The G5 winner goes above?
Yeah, G5 will go above them if it's Boise State. Yes.
But what if it's UNLV?
Well, then UNLV would not know. UNLV would be.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
If Boise State wins, Boise State is going to be one of the 4 teams to get a bye.
Let's go, dude. Fucking Iowa State to the 12-team playoff. Who would have ever guessed? I mean, Arizona State, same way. Either way, the winner of this game will be the team that I am cheering for in the playoff to fuck all you guys up. Next up,
they'll probably play Penn State or Oregon in the first round.
Easy money. Big 10 or Big 12? You know what? One's bigger. 12 greater than 10. Let's go. How's that for analysis? Oh, well, I'd say that was informative and fun. If you agree, please hit the like button, sub, and we'll see you next time for some more snaps.